remain your leaders over in League Two after another cracking victory this past week, or a couple of weekends ago. Walsall and Notts County are breathing down their necks. What will go on this weekend? We'll take a little look at it, all of it, next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. It's all about match day number 15, of course, over in League 2. And we'll get to it in a second. If you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe. Any one-stop shop for League 2 is right here under one rooski. Let's talk about the playoffs now, guys. Doncaster, Crewe, Chesterfield and Bradford currently in the mix. But that could all drastically change with the likes of Salford coming up there, sneaking into the old spotlight once again. Who will take advantage this coming weekend? We'll take a look at it in a second. If you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe. Any one-stop shop for League 2, EFL, World Football. We got it all here under one rooski. Big shout out to the patrons, you know who you are, and a big shout out to the members, you know who you are. But let's turn the clock back, way back, and of course bring it back up to date. Well, here we go, guys. A lot to catch up on here, and these were the last games that we had, the last full fixtures in League 2. We had the FA Cup and all that kind of nonsense prior to this. So let's turn it back and look at it. Colchester did lose to Salford, like I said, creeping up the table, as are Chesterfield in a 7-goal thriller over Morecambe. Accrington, Stanley and Walsall duked it out to a draw. Doncaster with a big win over Bradford City, who are still in the playoffs there, and Doncaster doing the biz. Barrow could only draw against Bromley. Charlton with a big away win against Carlisle. Crewe, 3-1 winners over Tranmere. MK Dons picking up a monster win over Grimsby. Meanwhile, Newport County and Fleetwood, 0-0 draw there. Notts County with a 1-0 win to remain in the top 3. Vale, though, 3-2 winners over Wimbledon. And then, of course, bottom there, Gillingham could only draw. Let's take a look at the this is the old leaderboard. When, of course, the last time I gave you an update prior to the barge, prior to all that nonsense, that was the situation. Priscilla Hinterland top, Russell Frost second, Case Gift Gaff third. Now we've had a whole bunch of games, and I'm bringing bang up to date now. Now this is the current new leaderboard. Are you ready? I've cleaned it all up, and here we go. We've had a change, I believe. Frosty is now top, Case Gift Gaff is second, and Bristol Hinterland is third in the table. And I have cleaned it all up a little bit. I don't think there's any doubles in there. So that's the current state of play right here, right now. We are going to kick on forward to the next round of games, which is in a second. This is, of course, the table as we see it. Port Vale tops, Walsall second, Notts County a third, and then, of course, the chasing pack. Going down is Morecambe, it's Carlisle, and there's a bit of a gap between themselves and Swindon Town, with Ian Holloway at the helm. That's that. This is the link if you want to get involved with the Prediction League. It's completely free. Get amongst it, get predicting, and get excited, guys, because these are the next round of games. Now, typically, we'll do this flying over thing with the Google Maps and whatnot, but we're not doing that because I'm recording this on a Saturday in a slam-packed day of recordings, and I ain't got time for that. So we're gonna just do it plain and simple, bog standard. And hopefully we will return to the flying very, very soon. So we're going to start with a trip to Harrogate as they take on Morecambe, coming at you on Saturday, November the 9th, of course. Now, the majority of the FA Cup games have taken place. Some may have been extra time, some may have been shocks and all that, but that's for another video. Harrogate under Simon Weaver, they sit 17th in the table. Is there somebody calling me? Cool. Harrogate coming at you, sitting in 17th for the table with 15 points to name. Up against Morecambe and Derek Adams, they sit 24th with 7 points to name. They played 5 times to 2020, 2 wins apiece and 1 draw. Harrogate, though, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Morecambe, won 3 out of the last 6 under Derek Adams, but need some results to get themselves off the bottom. Last time they played over at this venue, it was a 2-0 win for Harrogate back in August 2023. We have odds on this game. It's 6-5 is your Harrogate, 2-1 is your Morecambe, 5-2 is the draw. This could be a game for Morecambe to win here. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win. Good chance for them to get points and maybe, just maybe, close in on the gap for safety. Derek Adams can do this job. I believe in the man. Believe in the project. Next up, we go for Salford, who have been on an uptick of form right now. They sit in 12th with 20 points to name. 67% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 5 up against Carlisle and Mike Williamson, of course, coming in here, formerly of MK Dons, but it's not really got going for him as Carlisle sit 23rd in the table. They played 7 times since 2019. 2 wins for Salford, 3 for Carlisle. There's been 2 draws between the two sides. Carlisle without a win in the last 8. And of course, they haven't beaten Salford. Well, they beat them last time around at this venue back in November 2022. That was in League 2. Salford on the back of a 2-1 win over Shrewsbury in the Cup. A bit of a shock there. Carlisle's losing to Wigan in extra time in the Cup. But the bookies, they go. Salford even Stevens for the victory. 30-5 is the draw. 5-2 is your away win. Salford to win this one. Just the 1-0 win. Nothing fancy. But of course, another 3 points closer to the playoffs. Next up, it's Barrow. It's Colchester. It's coming at you over on the... Coming at you on the November the 9th. That's right. Barrow under Stephen Clements sitting in 9th without a win though in the last 6 matches. Up against Colchester on 17% form, winless in the last 8. They're all the way down to the 21st under Danny Cowley. It's not worked out for the Cowleys, has it, in this match? They played 8 times since 2020. 4 was for Barrow, 1 for Colchester. 3 draws between the two sides. Barrow actually unbeaten against Colchester over the last 5. They won 4 in the last 5 as well, with the last match at this venue being a 2-0 win for Barrow back in March 2024. Barrow did lose to Doncaster in the Cup. Colchester also lost to Swindon in extra time in the Cup as well. The bookies, though, for this one, Barrow 11-10 for the victory, 23-10. Your Colchester 5-2 the draw. Going to go with Barrow bouncing back here 2-1 when they need a win. They realistically think themselves as a playoff contender. So 2-1 win for Barrow for me this coming match day. Let's go to Wimbledon as they take on Grimsby. Coming at you over at Plough Lane. That's right, Johnny Jackson's boys. 50% form for them right now, sitting in 13th with 19 points to the name. Up against Grimsby, sitting in 10th with 21 points to the name. They've lost 3 in the bounce, have Grimsby. And they played at Wimbledon 6 times since 2011. 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. With the last match, in fact, both last matches, both at Wimbledon and Grimsby, were 0-0s. Grimsby have actually got 3 clean sheets on the bounce against Wimbledon. Of course, having won back in May 2023. Wimbledon, they are taking on MK Dons on the 3rd. That might have taken place by now. Grimsby losing to Wealdstone. Wow, what a shocker that is in the FA Cup. The odds for this, though, 30-8 on is your Wimbledon. Grimsby are 4-1. The draw is at 3-1. Going to go with a Wimbledon victory here. I think they've got more meat in the tank there than do Grimsby. So big win for the True Dons. This coming match day. Let's go Cheltenham. They're up against Bromley, of course, in a bit of a lower end table here. Cheltenham under Michael Flynn, though, on a good bit of form right now, winning at least unbeaten in the last 5. They won 3 in the spin, sitting in 16th with 17 points to the name. Up against Bromley, good bit of form right now for Bromley, just 1 defeat in the last 6 in all competitions and all venues. They're in 18th. Of course, they played twice since 2015, 2 wins out of 2 for Cheltenham, including the last time they played at Cheltenham way back in January 2016. That was in the non-league format there. 4-1 winners it was for Cheltenham way back when. The hosts on the back of a 3-1 win over Rotherham. Wow, we were in the Cup. Bromley in a 7-goal throw over Rochdale, also squeaking through to the next round, of course. The odds for this one, though, we're looking at Cheltenham 6-4 for the victory, 31-20 is your Bromley, 12-5 the draw. And this could be a draw, but I am leaning towards a Cheltenham victory, who seem to be up with a bit of form right now. And moving in the right direction. There we go to an absolute crunch clash coming at you over at the Keepmoat. It's Doncaster up against Notts County. It's 4th, it's 3rd, it's meaty, and it's played 14 times previously since 2006. We have 4 wins for Doncaster, 8 wins for Notts County, 2 draws between the two sides. Doncaster on 26 points, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They won 3 on the bounce. Notts County unbeaten in the last 5. They sit 3rd, 26 points to the name. Last time they played at the Keepmoat was a 3-1 win for Doncaster Rovers. 3-1 win it was for Notts County. They in fact did the double over Doncaster last season, both beating them 3-0 at their own place and 3-1 win on the road. Doncaster, though, picking up a cheeky 1-0 win over Barrow. Notts County putting 5 past Alfredton Town to go through to the second round of the FA Cup. The bookies for this one, though, they'll go Doncaster, I'm sure, 5-4 on as your host. 60-5 is the away win. That's Notts County. The draw is coming at you at 13-5. I'm going to go with a Doncaster victory as well. 3-1 winners, points in the bag, and away they go. Next up, it's Chesterfield. It was up against Accrington Stanley. Bit of a northwest crunch clash, this one. Chesterfield under Paul Cook sitting in 6th right now with 22 points to the name. They're unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. Accrington under John Doolan, they're in 20th, 13 points to the name. However, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Good bit of form right now for John Doolan's boys. They played 16 times since 2007. 6 wins for Chesterfield, 8 wins for Stanley. There's been 2 draws between the two sides. Chesterfield, though, have coming at you on the back of a victory over Horsham in the Cup. Stanley putting 2-0 victory over Russia in the Cup in both strong weekends of action for both of these two sides. Last time they played, they were over at Chesterfield as a 2-1 win for Accrington Stanley back in September 2017. That was the last time they played over in League Two. The odds here, though, 15-8 on is your Chesterfield, 29-10. The draw, 5-1 is your away win. Chesterfield should win this one. They've got the goals, they've got the tools, and of course, they push for the top three. It's definitely on like Donkey Kong. That's right. Next up we go. It's already on the screen, but we're going to roll with it anyway. It's Gillingham. It's Port. Hey, it might not be on the screen. Maybe I can fix it up in post. It's Gills. It's Port Vale. It's a spicy one. It's coming at you on the November the 9th as well. Gillingham in 11th with 20 points to name, winless in the last 6 up against Port Vale, who did lose in the FA Cup. Most recently, we'll talk about that in a minute. They're on 83% form, but sit top with 30 points. They played 22 times, these two clubs, since 2005. 7 wins for the Gills, 9 wins for Port Vale, 6 draws between the two sides. However, the last time they played at this venue, it was a 1-1 draw back in February 2017 in League One. Vale, though, are unbeaten against Gillingham over the last 6. They've won 3 and they've drawn 3. Of course, Gillingham did lose to Blackpool in the Cup. Barnsley also beating Port Vale in the Cup, as both sides looking to respond quickly via the victory. 15-8 is your Gillingham, 13-10 is your Port Vale, 5-2 the draw. We're back in Port Vale here. Going to go with a 2-1 win on the road for Vale to maintain the top of the league status. Next up, we go to Fleetwood. That's right. Up against Bradford City. That's right. Charlie Adams' boys not doing great right now. They're actually without a win in the last 5. Up against Bradford, just 1 win in the last 3 under Graham Alexandra, but they currently sit in those illustrious playoff spots. That's right. Sitting in 7th, 22 points compared to Fleetwood, who are on 18 points and sitting in 15th. They played 14 times since 2012. 4 wins for Fleetwood, 6 for Bradford. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this very venue, it was a 2-1 win for Fleetwood, who did the double over Bradford last time that these two sides were in the same division back in the 2018-29 season. In fact, Fleetwood have only lost once against Bradford over the last 5, and that was at this venue as well. Fleetwood, though, on the back of a 2-0 loss to Reading. That was in the Cup. Of course, Bradford City with a 3-1 win over Aldershot to go through to round 2. The odds for this, 27-20 is your Fleetwood Town, 9-5 is your Bradford, 5-2 is the draw. Back in the bantams here. I'm going to go with a 2. I'm not. I'm going to go with a draw. Wow. Point apiece. I think Fleetwood will be happier than that. I think Bradford, realistically, looking at this for a W. But unfortunately, no. Not on my watch. Next up, we have MK Dons up against Swindon. That's Ian Holloway's boys. They have played 29 times since 1993. 16 wins for MK Dons, 7 wins for Swindon. There's been 6 draws between the two sides. Milton Keynes on the back of a 3 successive wins. They sit 8th right now. Big surge up the table by Scott Lindsay's chaps up against Swindon. Back-to-back games now without a loss for Swindon Town. They, of course, played 29 times. The last match at this very venue, it was a 3-2 win for MK Dons, who've won 4 in the bounce against Swindon. They've scored, what we're at, 9, 5, 12, 14 goals against Swindon in the last 4. You do the math on that badger. Meanwhile, MK Dons with a big 3-1 win over Grimsby, taking on Wimbledon, of course, in the Cup very, very soon. Swindon did beat Colchester to go through to round 2 in the FA Cup under Holloway's mentorship. 10-9 on is your MK Dons, 11-4 is your Swindon, 5-2 is the draw. A little bit of Ian Holloway, but I ain't going to get a win here. 3-1 win, MK Dons taking the points, and of course climbing up. They're probably into the playoffs with that W. Tranmere Rovers, they're up next against Newport County, coming at you at Prenton Park. Nigel Atkins probably on Barrow time right now as they're down into 19th. 14 points for the campaign, 3 defeats on the spin for Tranmere Rovers. Against Newport County, 1-1, lost 1 and drawn 1 over the last 3. They're sitting in 14th, 19 points to the name, and they've played each other 13 times since 2014. 4 wins for Tranmere, 6 wins for Newport County. There's been 3 draws between the two sides, with the last match at this venue being a 2-1 win for Tranmere, who did the double of a Newport County last season, looking for a third victory in a row. Tranmere, though, losing to Oldham, of course, from non-league football. Newport County crashing out to Hot Shots Peterborough in a 4-2 Bobby Dazzler. The odds for this one, though, we're looking at Tranmere's 10-7 on for the victory. They are favoured. 4-1 is your Newport County, 30-5 is the draw. I said borrowed time for Tranmere. They need to win this one. They're not gonna go with a 1-1 draw. I think Newport County will take that to the bank. And then we've got a bit of a spicy one at the end at the Bescott. It's Walsall, it's Crewe, it's 2nd against 5th. It's Matt Sadler against Lee Bell in the dugouts. Played 24 times since 1999. 4 wins for Walsall, 9 for Crewe. 11 draws between the two sides, both on 67% form. That's just 1 defeat in the last 6. The only difference being Crewe coming into this on the back of a defeat. Walsall coming into this on the back of a win. Now, the wins was Walsall's 2-1 win over Bolton from League One. Wow. Crewe losing to Dagenham, goodness gracious me, in the FA Cup. The last time they played at the Bescott was a 2-0 win for Walsall back on Boxing Day 2023. The odds, though, 6-4 on is your Walsall, 4-1 is your Crewe, 13-5 is the draw. I love a bit of Crewe, me, but not this time. 2-1 win, Walsall taking the points on their own backyard. That, my friends, is it. 2-1 win completes my picks. Don't forget to get your own picks in using the Linkaruno. That will bring it back up to date eventually. But, of course, the Prediction League will keep on going. That, my friends, will complete it. Subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. We'll see you soon on the other end. Until then, we are done.